Welcome back, family. Welcome to the Reiki Healing Home Community, a place to heal, relax, and be yourself. I am Jessica, a Reiki master and intuitive, and today we have a special session. We're going to turn gratitude into wealth, as well as we're going to pull some cards. So let's go ahead and get started. So just relax where you're at and begin by taking a couple of deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Continue to breathe on your own here, releasing anything that is no longer serving you and allowing yourself to be fully receptive. I'm going to go ahead and say a prayer. Do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascendant Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, Mawu, Oshun, White Tower, and all the Taras. Please connect us to the archangels, spirit guides, spirit animals, our lineage, and all for our highest vibrational good only. Please root us down in our individual healing as well as empowerment journey and move us forward in our evolutionary path. And I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So let's go ahead and just take a relaxing sigh. Ooh, let it all out, y'all. Let it all out. We only have a couple more days of Money March, and Money March is exactly that, about the money of March. And so we're going to go in and use our goddess deck in order to look at if there's anything that's going to come up for us. And so let's go ahead and get started. It's been like quite a while since I've shuffled on camera, only because of the no space. Popping out. I'm gonna do 3. 2. Give me one more, universe. Give me one more. Okay, last one. So let's just see what it's talking about. We can definitely pull more cards if we need some more clarity into this, but let's go in. Oh, you want some Palo Santo? That's fair, right? I hope you all have been enjoying the burning sessions, because I definitely enjoy them. I'm like, ooh, fire in a good way. And just releasing and letting that go. Okay, put that over there. Now, let's go ahead and do our middle card. So we set the intention here to understand or give us any clarity about turning gratitude into wealth, or just anything that needs to come up right now. So let's go ahead and do it. Oh, peace. We're getting the peace card. There's no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. So basically, don't even worry about it. You're good. Hello. I'm okay. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that we are aligned and we are in the place that we need to be, and things are going to unfold as they need to, but it's not a place where you need to make a significant pivot, like you're on the wrong path or something. If anything, this is validation that you are on the correct path and the path that you need to be on in order to go forward in your path. Let's see what our next card is. Fairness. This situation will be handled in a just manner. Fairness is a really important card because it lets you know that the amount of hard work you're doing now, you will get the payoff. The payoff may not be tomorrow. The payoff may be in a couple of years, but you will get the payoff. And I know that it might feel like if you're working hard, especially like think about something as fitness, where you have to do all this hard work now and you want to already have your results, but your results are going to take like a year or two. Just understanding that whatever effort you put into, whether it is relationships, whether it is work, whether it is some type of hobby, whether it is, being financially stable. I think the financial aspect is probably a better example, where you're saving, $10 every time you go and buy something random. Yeah, in the beginning you save like $50, but allow that to accumulate over years. That's when you really start to see it being fair for the amount of trade-off that you have. So that's just indicating that it's going to be handled in the way that's going to be fair for you. And this card is expect miracles. So this card has definitely been coming up, and it's a card that represents belief, understanding that there can be unexpected reversals. So if you're going through a path that you're like, oh man, I'm working real hard, but I don't necessarily see where my payoff is going to be, understanding that you can have an unexpected reversal, in which this card is definitely going to come up, and it just requires you to have faith in what's going on. So let's pull another card. We're having a good time here, And be strong. It says you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. So only good things here. So basically coming up, it's saying that, like, if you just own that strength and own your path and continue doing what you're doing, you're going to be fine. There's not going to be like anything that is going to be like that can knock you off. But here's my kind of words of caution. It's easy to get complacent. It's easy to, believe in doubt or be lazy or things like that. And so to that, I would say have the courage and the confidence to go at the level that you're going now. Don't, work yourself to death. But if you have a nice kind of stride you're going, don't allow life to make you get intimidated, or don't allow any setbacks, even with the pandemic that we have now. This doesn't necessarily have to be a setback unless you allow it to be a setback. You've already got past the fear. You've already got past, what action items you can take. And now it's just continue to move forward regardless. And this, being able to cultivate these skills, will make you stronger and stronger. Let me throw some hands in there. Will make you stronger and stronger as you navigate these various things in your life. So I'm going to shuffle one more time and see if there's any more clarity. This is one of my favorite decks, and it's one of my favorite decks because it is just so empowering. It's not about like doom and gloom. It's much more about understanding things from the highest energetic form. And it was like, I feel like it was like $20 with all these beautiful women, or representations of the goddess. Is there anything else we need to past lives. So the first thing that's coming up to me here is correcting karma, meaning you could be doing something and putting your best effort forth, and you're creating this new karma, but you also might notice that there are situations in the past. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be a negative thing. It can be that you've built up so much karma in past lives that you're finally able to see it through this life, or you are correcting the karma of past. So basically, it just is giving you kind of like this balance of understanding that things are much more connected. It's not just you in this experience, even though this is the only time you are going to be the person that you are in this life at this time, with this family, with this set of circumstances, which makes it unique, understanding that your soul lives on. So it also gives you like the understanding that you should make decisions based off of the longevity of your soul as opposed to just this lifetime. So if ever you're trying to cheat somebody, or, just not being conscious of the decisions that you're making in life, understand that it sticks around. Even if it's at the, you're just thinking, oh, it's just this life, if I'm getting over X, Y, and Z, or even if somebody gets over on you, understand that sticks with you. The way that we receive things, as well as the way that we kind of dish things out, deeply impact us. You can have a whole life of subservitude and then reincarnate into another life where you may not have those set of circumstances, but it feels natural to kind of let people walk all over you. And thus, you have to spend this life correcting that, being in a state of energetic strength and being in a state where you're no longer that. So if you notice that you have like these kind of like inklings for certain things, or notice that there's a certain way that you naturally are, that you were born into, and you can learn a lot about this past life stuff by looking at your south node, both in its placement in the house. And that will give you kind of some perspective of what you should move away from. Why? Because it takes you away from your destiny. Your destiny is in your north node, in, the placement and in the house. And so being able to move forward and allow your soul to evolve is so important. So allow this to represent a time of soul evolution. And honestly, it may not take that much. It may not put a lot of effort. It really is just trusting that you can do it, having faith in the process. And I think that we have so much information nowadays coming at us left and right, boom, 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 right? That it is easy to set a plan and then abandon that plan because you feel like you have more information now. Whereas this card is saying, just be authentic to whatever your path is and just go with it. No need to deviate from the path. New opportunities will arise when it's ready. But what really sets people apart nowadays from the longevity of what they do is their ability to stick with something. A lot of people don't stick with something, and that's why it always might feel for you that you're starting from zero, when it really isn't that. You're just kind of like boop, 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 hop. And for those who are especially strong at being able to stick things through and be consistent, that is where you definitely see things blossom. So you might not be consistent in a lot of things in your life, but you chose to be consistent at work, or your relationships, or your friendships, and you notice those things are the things that have blossomed in your life. And understand that is a concept that you've learned. And let's get something here. And I also feel like compelled to share the message of waking up in the morning and just spending the first couple of seconds being grateful. Just saying thank you, God, thank you, universe, thank you, source, thank you, energy, thank you for this life, and really change your frequency for that day. Because this life is a blessing. Everything about it is a blessing. Even the opportunity to learn from obstacles, it's a blessing. And so allowing the soul to mature on a whole nother level is just something that not a lot of souls can do. And those who have incarnated in this life, in this earth plane, they're so brave for doing it, especially because there's so many, things that are going on. Who's playing the hero? Who's playing the villain? Who's playing the victim? Souls on a neutral level are just kind of collecting all this karma in different ways. ways, and they're learning. Everything that you experience is so you can have a greater amount of empathy towards other people, good and bad. And so leading with that perspective, it just gives you, a gratitude for life. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And just waking and filling your moments with that, as well as honoring the feelings that you feel when you're upset, angry, sad, happy, joyous, confused, befuddled, like all of these things. Having that experience is a very human experience. But at the end of the day, being grateful, thank you. That gratitude is really what raises your vibrational energy. And if you can set it at the beginning of the day when you're closest to that unconscious energy, that when the veil, is the most thin, you can definitely transform your day, your future. Even now, even me saying the words, oh, I'm so grateful, I'm just so grateful for life, for gratitude, it changes me, how I feel right now in this moment. So for those who suffer with anxiety or depression, because we did our video of a very powerful way to turn depression into motivation, the secrets of a Reiki master, even with all of that, using just gratitude, just saying I'm grateful, and kicking your reasoning out. Okay, because I know I'm a Gemini. I am a Gemini Cancer cusp sun, and I'm a Libra moon, and my rising sign is Scorpio. That's probably where all this nail stuff comes from. But I can sit and think in my house all day long. I can really just go down the rabbit hole of YouTube and the internet, just, investigating things that I find very interesting. I guess that's the Scorpio side, but the Gemini side is definitely like think, and kicking that reasoning out. And it's funny because I don't always tell people I'm a Gemini, because they're like, you don't act like a Gemini. And I'm like, you know what? It's because I've always been into astrology, and I've done like I've done the hard work of balancing out like the personalities, because I can definitely, like, if someone approaches me with energy, I can catch that energy and say like, oh, this is interesting, or oh, that is interesting, or oh, this is interesting. But at the end of the day, throughout my healing journey and becoming a healer, there had to be this kind of balance. But I still like to hold on to those like whimsical aspects of the Gemini that, we get a bad rap for. But that's why I say like mental health awareness is so important, because, getting caught up in your thoughts can definitely not be so great. So shout out to the Geminis. We don't get a lot of support, we don't get a lot, but it's okay. So I've been officially shuffling these cards for much longer than they need. Universe sending us our final message of what we need, especially holding on to this gratitude, turning into wealth and things like that. Oh, Mawu. Hello, Mawu is who we definitely shout out in our prayer, representing Mother Earth. And we talked about environmentalism. And so this came up in a card pull a couple of months ago, and it definitely is so fitting for our time now, with our understanding of needing to be more environmentally conscious, more environmentally understood, not just recycling, but just how, just our, our ecological footprint, what we do, just even, understanding the concept of like the coronavirus and COVID-19, and understanding how this virus started at a marketplace, most likely for exotic animals. And I just thought about like all the conspiracy theories of being created in a lab and such. But I mean, realistically, it probably is that it was not created, but it started in a marketplace of exotic animals. The more that we encroach on land, the more that we come into contact with animals that we necessarily have not interacted with. So they probably have different viruses and bacteria that our immune systems have not built up to. And that's what happens. I mean, it's kind of like mirroring what happened in the movie Contagion. I didn't watch it, but it was like the understanding that like it was like farmland that pushed like, the wild land back. And so the bats, speaking of bats, but the bats then, gave it to the pigs. The pigs then were consumed by people, and then of course these viruses and these bacteria mutate as they go into different hosts. And so some aren't affected, and then if they mutate in which they are affected. So this is basically saying that you can't live your life and think that you're not responsible for what you're doing, and think like, oh, let the next generation handle that. Oh no, you seeing that now. And so with that understanding, trying your best and taking, I would say, baby steps. Don't do something unrealistic in that you can't keep it up. Just take the baby steps, whether that is, okay, I'm going to try to reduce the amount of plastic I consume, or I'm going to use glass ware instead of plastic ware, or I'm gonna go buy bulk products. So I'm gonna go buy bulk grain, so I'm gonna bring my own storage compartment and things like that. And you'll notice they're actually really cheap. The only thing is it's just less convenient. It's not at your everyday grocery store. And so because of that, putting in mind that we are the earth and the earth is us. Not just having gratitude, but understanding this body is a representation of how we treat the body of the earth. And so being able to be there for the oceans, for the land, for the air, and even our energy around us, our mental energy, our energetic energy, space, all of that is our responsibility to take action. And so just from what came up here, you know that I'm a Gemini. Libra moon, that's why I like people so much. And I think that's why people like me. No, people like me. That's people like me. Also another air sign, so definitely a lot of thought. But I enjoy the beauty of things too, probably the nails. And then we've learned the more important thing of this whole thing is turning gratitude into wealth comes with, number one, just being consistent with what you're doing and being at peace. Release and let it go. And I promise it is coming to you. And be strong. Everything's going to be handled fairly, so you don't have to feel like you're not getting things in the amount of time that you want them by. And also, we are this earth. This earth is us. So the more that you do things that are environmentally conscious, the closer your soul is getting to the elevation of all of these beautiful things. So I'm going to go ahead and close you out. I'm going to seal you with the sign of the infinity. I hope you enjoyed our session today, our last session for the week. We got a couple more videos next week. And remember, April 3rd, you get to see my face. So I can't wait to see you. But until then, if you haven't heard, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and I love you. So take care of yourselves. I'm definitely going to take care of myself. So until next time.